All right, let's create this week a cover sheet. So what we'll do is we're going to modify this existing cover sheet or this existing title block, and we're going to create it to be a title block cover sheet. And I'll show you what we do. So if you select the title block in any view, and double click on it or edit family up at the top here. Once that opens, you're going to hit File, Save As, Family. And then we're going to call it horizontal underscore cover. We'll go into save it under our families and title blocks and save it wherever you have your title block saved. So I think the best thing to do would be delete everything but this outside border. Hit delete. This is probably pinned. Nope, it's not pinned. It just didn't get selected. And then we can delete it. And actually, I'm going to undo. I'm going to delete everything except for. Let's see here. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to go a little bit zoom in. And basically, what I want to do is I want to keep the kind of the outline of the title block. Because what we'll do is we'll have to drag this onto the sheet again. So we'll create a sheet and then we'll drag this title block with our cover page. So this is going to be our cover. So after we've cleaned it up, we've got just this outline of the title block. What we'll want to do is go to Create and then Label. And we'll make it centered alignment and middle alignment, and we can click here. And what we'll do is once you click, it'll bring up this edit label tag because we want it to pull the project information. So you can scroll down and you can control project address and drag that over. And then project name and then project address. And we do want it to break, so check this little break so that it will go down to the next line, and then hit OK. So it's real tiny, but for a project we want it to be big. We typically want it to have the cover page to have the project title big. So I'm going to edit this label. So we edit the content of the label by on the properties palette hitting edit the label. So now this is the information that it draws, but we want this label to be bigger. So I'm going to edit type duplicate, and then let's call it project title, and let's bump up the size to like maybe 1 inch and hit OK. And so this is where it's going to populate our project name and address, which is typically what we show on that cover sheet. So I'm going to actually bump it up again. So I'm going to edit type. I'm going to just double it to 2 inches and see how that looks. Yeah, that's much better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a group out of this project name so I can center it better on the sheet. So create group. That gives me that middle grip. I'm going to draw a line. So if I go over here to create and do a line, I'm going to draw a line in the middle and then draw another line here so I can get another midpoint. And I'm probably going to center it. Actually, you know what? Let's just do this line and we'll center it in between here. So I'll draw another line from the corner here down to here. Now I can pick this title group that we just made, grab that center point, and then find the midpoint of that line, and now it's centered in that line. And we can change all this later. So now we've created this this kind of second title block that's going to have our project name. We can load and close into the project. And it's probably going to say it can't create that type of element, and that's okay. So what we're going to do now is go to View, Sheet. We're not going to create it with a cover. We're going to create it with the normal one that we normally did, and we'll drag the cover onto the sheet. So we'll create this cover sheet. We're going to call it A100. And its name should be Cover. And then now if we go to our properties or our project browser, we can drag down and go to Families. And it should be under Annotation Symbols. And you can see we have this cover. You're going to hit the little plus next to it, and then we can drag it onto this sheet just like you would another view. I'm going to move, so I'm going to select this cover that we just made, and then grab the corner and then put it down here on the corner. So now it's sitting on top of there. And so what we can do now is we can just call our address anywhere USA, and it'll say sample residence or whatever you have your name. So if you want to call it Joe's Place or wherever you have it, now it will draw that information there. The next thing we are going to do to create a cover, so we've got our cover sheet. We're going to want to go to View, Schedules, and Sheet List. Once you pick that, you'll drag the little bar down and go to Sheet Number and Sheet Name. Hit OK, and it's going to bring up a schedule. That's going to schedule all the sheets that you have. You can drag this out so you can see them better. Once you're in this view, you can go to your Properties palette, and then we're going to edit the sorting and grouping so that it sorts by sheet number, and go to Formatting, and there's nothing we need to change here, and Appearance. I don't like the blank row there, so we're going to get rid of the blank row that's in the title there, so uncheck that box. And we can leave grid lines on, so stripe rows on street is, show title, show headers, yeah, that should be fine. And now we can close this. We'll go to our project browser. We'll minimize our families. Scroll up to just above the sheets, there'll be schedules, and we have our sheet list here that we just made, and we can click and drag onto the sheet, and then we can resize it even further on the sheet. And so now we've got our sheet list. Another thing, and this is something we could do within here, I like to have a little line that goes across the top. So we can actually double click on this, and let's just add it to the title block. Or you could add it into the sheet itself, but this way we can control it. So if we go Create, we can pick a line. I'm going to pick a wide line. I'm going to drag it across the middle. I'm going to load and save into the project. Yeesh. And we'll overwrite the existing version. I'm going to come up here and toggle the line thickness to see. It doesn't look too thick, that's okay. Now the next thing I'm going to do on the cover sheet is also have one of our perspective views, I think would be good. But I think I'm going to create a new perspective view. So I'm going to go into my 3D view. And go up to View, 3D, click underneath Camera. And we'll do just a front view. I'm going to change it to realistic. Stretch the box over. I'm going to bring the bottom up a little bit. Bring the top down. And let's see here. What else should we do to this? I think this looks good. I kind of was hoping to actually get some sky in here, but I'm not quite sure how to do that. I'm sure a quick Google search would help me. Stand by for 1 second. All right, I'm back. So, to get the sky to show up in the back, which would be nice for our presentation views as well. Actually, I just didn't think about it before. If you go up to the View tab, Graphics, click this little arrow, go to Background, and click Sky. And hit apply, and let's see what happens. Now we've got some sky in the background of our view. I'm going to turn off the crop region visible. And then I'm going to rename this view to cover sheet 3D view. Then I'm going to close it. Go back to my cover, go to the project browser, and I'm going to drag this 3D view onto the cover. And just like before, it comes in small. We can fix that here pretty easily. I'm going to go to my properties palette. And the next thing I'm going to do is see how it has the title block. I don't really want that there. So I'm going to actually edit this viewport. I'm going to go Edit, Duplicate, and then Viewport, No Title. And then where it says Title, View Title, I'm going to set None, Show Title, No, and hit OK. And then that view title should go away. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here, double click on the view to activate it, or you can select this view and then activate view. I'm going to change it from perspective to orthographic. Bump up the scale to something a little bit bigger, like let's try 16th. Just see how it fits on our cover. Still kind of small. I'm going to go to 8th. I think that'll look much better on our sheet. Change it back to perspective. We can get our nice perspective view. And there we go. We have our nice perspective view on our sheet now. And so for the cover, that is pretty much it. In reality, we'd have an abbreviations list and a lot of information about the project on here. But since we have no project information, we're just going to leave it blank for now. But I'll show you what it would look like if you're working on a project. Let's see. I'm going to bring up that file that I got from Veritone Architecture. So on here they have general notes, abbreviations, all the symbols, what they mean, material legend, but we don't need to go through and create all this. When you get a job, this is already going to all be done. You'll just have to assemble it based on what they have from previous projects. They've got code information. Here's the sheet list. They have the renovation and addition information up here. So yeah, they've got the project location and whatnot, but we don't need all that. So I'm just going to kill that. And that'll be what we're going to have for ours. So we'll have our title, our cover sheet index, and our perspective view. And while we're at it, let's go and adjust those perspective views that we did before, because I really like the look of the having the sky in the background, which I should have looked into that before, but I didn't think about it until just now. So here we'll go. Just took a quick Google search. I just typed in Revit. What did I type in? Sky for background or something like that. So Google is your friend. So yeah, I just Googled show sky in Revit, and then it almost often will, for something easy like that, it'll have it right in the beginning. So that is a good to get your Google foo much better. Let's see. So click this little down arrow, go to background, and do sky. Okay. Double click into the view to do another one. Do graphics, click this little arrow there. Background, sky. Ooh, an image. We could do an image too, but I don't want to do that. So potentially you could take a site photo at the direction you've got your perspective view, and you could put the photo as the background of adjacent houses. So that'd be kind of neat actually to do. And let's do this for the other ones. And actually I think, if I'm not mistaken, we can do this at one time instead of trying to do it in separate little chunks here. I'm going to pick both of these. I'm going to go to view. Will it not let me? No. Let's see. I'll try it as different. Let's see. So this is northwest corner and northeast corner. I'm going to select all of these and see if I can access that information without having to do it each individual one. It does not look like they have that option to do that. So we'll just have to double click on them, go up here to graphics, onto the view tab, hit this little diagonal 45-degree arrow, click background, sky, and hit OK. Double click to get out of the view, double click to get into the next view, view tab, graphics, little 45-degree arrow, background. Why are you not working? Graphics, background. Oh, I've got a view template applied to this one. I don't know if I want to review templates, but I'm just going to take that off. That would have been a good way to change all of them, but that's neither here nor there. I don't remember if I went over doing a view template, but I won't put that on you now. So background, sky, and hit OK. So now we got our sky and our perspective views, and we've got our cover view. So let's go ahead and print our cover. Select, check none, views, cover, hit OK. Nope, we don't want to save those settings. And now we've got our cover view. Just got to bring up the little thing to ask me where to save it. We can save it right into there. And so I think this week I'm going to do the next video would be on doing the door and window details, and I think we're going to call it, because I think what we'll do next is I'll have you print out your entire set with all these different views, and from there I'm going to do some detailed markups that you'll have to complete and finish for your final project. And so I think that's what we'll do from there. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video. Let me know if you have any questions about creating any of this. A lot of this should be similar stuff we've already done, except for the sheet list and modifying this and creating this secondary title block that we use for the cover. And that's it. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.